It's Monday the 13th of November 2017 and I'm at Chingford to do a walk along Greenwich Meridian Trail. Now heading along the track beside a golf course that is part of Greenwich Meridian Trail. Great weather today, although it's quite cold. Still heading along the straight track. Pleasant view over to the right across the golf course, and there's the track ahead rising slightly. At this point, where the main track bears right, Greenwich Meridian Trail keeps ahead up the narrower path. Very pleasant woodland, resplendent in autumn colours. There's a narrow path ahead. Now on top of Pole Hill, and here's the obelisk, built in 1824. There's also a trig point on Pole Hill, and ahead an astonishing view over London. Now descending Pole Hill on this wide grassy track. View of a reservoir ahead, and now we drop down there between those trees. Come out to a more open area with startling views. Now bending right. Another look at the views. Now heading along this track with glorious autumn colours. I've not yet seen a single Greenwich Meridian Trail waymark. I'm relying completely on the guidebook. At this junction we bear right up that path there. The path climbs gently through these woods. We come to this junction now and take this path going steeply downhill. At the bottom we come to this beautiful open area. Greenwich Meridian Trail crosses this small stream and turns right. We're also following part of London Loop at this point. We now bear left up this track. Later the path climbs between these trees. After climbing, the path starts to descend. After a short descent we come to these waymarks, and as you can see we're still on London Loop, but this is the first indication that we're on Greenwich Meridian Trail that I've seen today. And we now turn right along this bridleway, which looks like it climbs again. The waymarks seem to be appearing again here, and as you can see we turn left down there. The path joins this small road and we bear right with the road in a few yards. We've turned right and are heading straight down to join another road. Come to this road, turn left for about 150 yards. Greenwich Meridian Trail now turns right along the drive of the West Essex Golf Club. Still heading up the drive of the golf club. Where we turned into this drive in the last clip, we left the route of London Loop. But we're still on Greenwich Meridian Trail here. We now bear left onto this wide path. The path bears to the right with the golf course on the left and trees on the right. Looking behind, there's a view over London. Greenwich Meridian Trail now turns right on this bridleway. Over to the left, great autumn colours. Pity about the lawn mowing. And we're still on this bridleway on Greenwich Meridian Trail. Further on, views open up to the left over the Lee Valley. The path ends at Lippets Hill where we turn right. After a few yards we turn left along this bridleway leading to Mott Street, down there. The path bears right into this enclosed track. The path leads ahead through these bushes following power lines. At this point we turn left off the bridleway through here. Now we're starting to drop down with great views ahead to the left, and there's the wide path. At the bottom, Greenwich Meridian Trail crosses this stile and continues ahead. After the stile we emerge into this field with great views ahead. We follow the hedge on the right. Greenwich Meridian Trail crosses this stile beside a gate, and we emerge on the road of Mott Street. We turn right up Mott Street for about 30 yards to a path on the left. A few yards after leaving Mott Street, the path heads steeply uphill. From the field we get tremendous views over the Lee Valley. There's the path ahead. We're now dropping down to the road called AV Lane. Now at AV Lane where we turn left but take that fork on the right. Sun's come out again. Great view there over the Lee Valley. We now, after forking right, the small road joins this road where we continue ahead. Turn left off the road along this path. The path opens out to reveal fantastic views across the Lee Valley ahead. Heading along this narrow path with a fence on the left and trees on the right. The roar of the M25 is getting louder. We now go through this gate and continue down there. The path continues along the right hand edge of these small fields. The gate's open so I don't need to cross that stile. We now cross the stile by that tree and turn right. Confirmation we're on Greenwich Meridian Trail. This sign on that stile in the last clip. And there's a view of that stile I've just crossed. I'm looking back the way I've come, and there is a Greenwich Meridian Trail waymarker pointing back the way I've just come. We turn right for about 100 yards after that stile, and then we bear left along the edge of this field. The hedge on the right ends, but the path continues across the fields, and with great views, especially over to the right. And there's the M25, you can see. At the end of the field, Greenwich Meridian Trail turns right beside this hedge. Great view looking back in the direction that I've just come. Now heading beside this hedge towards the crossing of the A121 main road on that footbridge ahead. Now crossing the A121 on the footbridge. After crossing the A121, Greenwich Meridian Trail heads across this field. We're going to cross the M25 shortly. Interesting curved field over to the right. There's the path ahead. After an overgrown section of path, Greenwich Meridian Trail crosses the M25 on this footbridge. After crossing the M25, Greenwich Meridian Trail bears left along this path with great autumn colours. We now head along this path, still beside the M25. Now crossing the Cobbins Brook on a footbridge. Now heading up this lane to the main Surbiton Road. At the Surbiton Road, Greenwich Meridian Trail turns right to head into Waltham Abbey and the end of today's walk. Now entering Sun Street, Waltham Abbey. Now crossing the Greenwich Meridian line in Sun Street, Waltham Abbey. Passing the Market Square, Waltham Abbey. I've just diverted off the path a few yards to get this great view of Waltham Abbey itself. Now heading down this path along an avenue of trees to the main entrance of Waltham Abbey. This is still part of Greenwich Meridian Trail. Now at the main entrance of Waltham Abbey and the end of today's walk along Greenwich Meridian Trail.